Hi, I'm John. This is my rolling life. Um, I wanted to discuss a book called Bewilderment by Richard Powers. I just finished it. It, it really kind of stood out to me. It's about a astrobiologist named Theo Berm who is studying all our planets and trying to dictate their future climates, while also going through life as a single parent, raising a 9-year-old boy named Robin. Um, Robin is a very imaginative, creative uh, young boy who has some emotional challenges, uh, has Asperger's, um, but also has a gift for creativity and imagination, and is loves to explore nature with his dad, and they go on camp trips, and um, they they do what they call burning the midnight oil, which means they get in bed in the evenings and read together. And um, his father uh, takes him to other planets by reading about other planets, and they make up stories. He makes up stories for Robin on other planets, and they have a very deep connection. Robin loves to paint endangered species, animals, to, and he has this idea. He comes up with this idea to sell his paintings to raise money for these environmental groups that his mother supported, because his mother was an environmental lobbyist, and she's no longer with them, but in order to keep her memory alive, he wants to raise money to support all these uh, groups, and he's uh, concerned because he sees the environment getting worse as we as some of us mistreat the environment, and he just the boy is very concerned and very passionate about that. But also, he's Theo's father is having some trouble with Robin's school because Robin's had some issues uh, with emotional outbursts at school, and the school wants him to medicate his son, um, but Theo doesn't want to medicate him like so many other kids are being medicated these days because he doesn't want his uh, son to be just lumped in with all the other kids, and so but he's really struggling because Robin keeps having, he's had a few emotional outbursts at school. So Theo contacts an old friend of his wife's uh, that is a scientist, and they come up with this treatment that's neurofeedback treatment to use old recordings of Robin's mother to interact with Robin's brain to help control his emotions, and by uh, mapping his brain to his mother's old recordings of her brain, and it helps to control, get and calm Robin down and help him get his emotions under control. But something happens when they're mapping his brain to his mother's old recordings, is because he starts to uh, know things about his mother that his father never told him. Um, Certain places they'd gone and done, certain things they did together before her passing that no one ever told Robin. And so they end up wanting to study Robin more. All the people that are helping him with this treatment, and his father doesn't want him to be used. So it's got so much heart, and it just made me think of a connection between a parent and a child with a disability or neurological issues or any kind of disability. And there's so much struggle between schools and parents of kids with disabilities. Uh, so it is such a fight and an issue to get better care and understanding for kids with disabilities. And it really inspired me. This book has so much to say about devotion, about a father's love, about a child's imagination, about how our society misunderstands kids with neurological issues or any kind of disability, um, because they just assume that um, they just put kids in boxes and assume they're one way when there's so much more than what society at large sees. And it's a beautiful, beautiful story, um, about a father's love for his son, about a husband's love and memory of his past deceased wife, about a mother's love and devotion, about how much a mother gives and how much um, her husband and father of the child depends on the mother, and they learn from her even in her passing, even in her absence. She's there with them uh, because the bird, was his mother's favorite bird. So anytime they were stressed out or going through any challenge in life, she would repeat the words, "The robin is our favorite bird," and they ended up naming their son Robin because of that. So anytime he sees his son, anytime he's with his son, in a way he's with uh, his wife, I guess. And um, it just really inspired me and really made me think about uh, how we as in a society treat kids with disabilities. The, 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 there should be more creativity and thought put into treatment of disabilities for kids, and not just medicate them. And um, it's a beautiful, beautiful book, and it really made me think, and really made me think about how, as I once recently was listening to a podcast, a friend of mine was on, and a mother of a child with a disability, and she said something that really made me think, um, really stood out to me. She said, you know, the doctors are the experts in disability and treatment, but the the parents are the expert in the child. The parent is the expert in the child, and that really stood out to me as I read this book, because the school just wants him to be medicated and just wants to put him in a box in a certain group, but the father sees all this other see this sees this imagination and creativity and all this beautiful beautiful spirit in this child and Robin, and he's so much more than his emotional challenges, and he ends up being treated by mapping his brain to his mother's devotion and love and calmness, and it's just something beautiful. It's a book about a child's creativity, about a child's imagination, about a child's love for his father, about a father's love for his child, about a mother's devotion. It's a beautiful, beautiful book. Um, it speaks of how we should think about disabilities, how we do currently, and how we should. And it was just so beautiful, and I highly recommend uh, reading it. If you're a parent, um, if you're just interested in a beautiful story about creativity and um, about love and devotion and science, and yeah, it really spoke to me. So I hope you guys watch this and enjoy it, and I hope you're doing well. And please have a blessed day. Um, thank you for watching.